Kristen. Welcome, and I'm here with Timmy Braun. And so he's played in many different bands. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about his company, Zbowlat. We're going to talk a little bit about Anti-Mortem, Super Pimp, and then also Timmy and Carol. How are you doing today, Timmy?
What's going on? I'm doing pretty well actually. Other than this winter weather, we just had to drive through, but it's not really too bad. But doing good. How about you?
So I'm pretty good. So where would you like to start in all of those different projects that you're involved on?
Well, the most recent show I had was with Anti Mortem, so we could start with that. That's a new thing for me and kind of for them too. I mean, they broke up, about 5 years ago, I think, and then they toured, around the country, and they decided to just kind of get it back together and see what might could happen with it. 'Cause a lot of people have been asking about it, and 'cause I've been with the Texas Hippie Coalition for most of this last decade, and I decided to step down from that because I've got some other things going on, like the Zbowlat thing, and I'm going back in school actually. So I'm a 37-year-old freshman in college, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, and then my wife and I have a band too. We just go by Carol Morgan, which is her maiden name, and that's pretty much like there's also Super Pimp. So basically, I'm already in still three bands, and actually just last night I was with the Super Pimp guys. We were writing everybody's writing songs right now. It's kind of what's going on, Me and Carol are writing, and Super Pimp's been writing, and that's probably what's going to happen with Anti Mortem. We just if they're gonna, if this is going to stay and keep going, we need new material. So this is going to be kind of a writing year, which last year was a writing year too. So, I mean, you just kind of always have to be writing, I think. Just, be kind of ahead of yourself, always have stuff that's in the works. And, it comes out when it comes out. Some video stuff going on. Carol and I have a release that's about to happen on a video. And then I've already got a video that I did my own self, which it's kind of we were just sitting there one day and like watching. Actually, it was the Tom Petty documentary, and we were watching that. And, they're showing some of his old videos. And back then, in the '80s, the technology, even though it was good then, it's like our cell phones can do that now. So we were just sitting there like we could do that ourselves. And so sure enough, we've done a couple of them ourselves. So it's pretty fun.
Awesome. So I guess one question that definitely comes to mind with being involved in so many different things is how do you either find the time or kind of find the balance between them?
It's very difficult. Music actually comes first for me. It's just because that's where my heart is, And as far as like just the different bands, I mean, there's just certain times of the year that we pretty much, we know that, like, for example, like with Super Pimp, my singer, he's a chef, and so during like this time of year, he's real busy. So when summertime comes around, that opens up, an area where we can book stuff for that. With like Carol and I, we're always just kind of, booking stuff here and there throughout, the year, and a lot of local stuff. But we go out of town too. We try to. I think this year the goal is to just kind of partner up with, a band or two and do like some runs, around the country as a package, kind of deal with whether it's Super Pimp or, even Anti Mortem or Cosmic Wool. Those guys have other projects too. So that's kind of, in the works right now, just kind of trying to figure out what's going to be available. And it's a lot of work, especially since we're doing it ourselves, trying to book stuff yourself. And, it is a lot of work. As far as the Zbowlat goes, I've had a partner pretty much for the last couple of years to help me, have stuff available online, handle orders, take care of stuff like that, and make sure that there's always product available. And so, but my wife right now, she's going to school for substance abuse counseling, and so just kind of idea popped into my head that with the Zbowlat, which in case these people don't know, it means where's the ball at? It's it's kind of a marijuana reference, for those weed smokers. But it's right now with the medical marijuana thing going on around the country, which I think is one of the most fabulous things happening right now. I know there's a lot of turmoil in the government. A lot of people are, kind of a divided country in some ways. But I think right now with the medical marijuana thing going on, that's like, I think it kind of overrides all the craziness that's happening, and I think it's a step towards the right direction for everybody. And so what I was wanting to do is, and I might, divide it between a few different companies, but basically just try to find, a few nonprofit organizations that are for like substance abuse treatments and stuff like that. And I'm going to donate $1 of every sale to that field to help keep people off of drugs. Smoke weed, not meth, right?
Most definitely. I think there's so much that can be said about the cannabis industry and the ways that can be used to treat addiction, pain management, and that we should explore those possibilities so much more. So
yeah, I mean, I've never really done much. I feel like to give back to the community, so much. I mean, I'm an entertainer, and I like to make people happy, and so I figured this is a way that I can do something that benefits people. I've never really been like addicted to drugs or anything, but I know a lot of people that have, and so it's just I've lost friends over it, and stuff like that, and I think it'd just be a good thing to do.
It is definitely a good thing to do. Tell me how you came to form Zbowlat. Where did the idea come from?
That's a great question. It actually happened. Hell, it's been almost about 10 years. I was on tour with an old band of mine, and I had just woken up, and it was my turn to drive. We were splitting driving shifts at that time, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like to smoke a little bit when coffee, a little bit of weed buzz, and get down the road. It's nice, and so it was my turn to drive, and I was asking where the ball was at. I was kind of yelled back to the back of the van, I'm like, hey guys, where's the ball at? And then like some of them were sleeping, the radio was on. I turned the radio down. Finally, I was like, hey, the ball at? And they knew it just kind of slipped out, and they all kind of just started laughing, and like, so it became like our coined phrase. And anytime, a safety meeting or so, if you want to call it, was going on, we started using that word instead. Hey, the ball at? Because it's a question sort of, but it's a phrase, it's a statement. It's just kind of a one word explanation for, hey, it's time to have a couple of tokes,
Right, most definitely. So now you do have a clothing line around that. Any other plans for the Zbowlat company or anything new that you're coming out with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on some new designs for this year, and probably new, more items. Right now, it's mostly just like, hoodies and shirts and hats and stuff like that. Working on getting some like towards the end of the year, some holiday kind of special limited edition stuff, even some glass pieces and stuff like that. And, I mean, I've been trying to build the online presence, and I give stickers out, all over the place. But really right now, what I'm going to start concentrating on is, especially in Oklahoma, since the weed was just legalized, and there's going to be all kinds of dispensaries opening up and stuff like that. So I want to try to, just get it in as many of those stores as I can locally, and try to keep my business local too, as far as like who I order from, like who prints my stuff, and just, kind of start with that, start local. And there's some new, marketing techniques I'm going to use. And my partner, I'm actually kind of on my own right now. That's a whole nother story I don't really need to get into, but so I'm going to have to kind of, just take a step back and look at some different methods to get this thing going. But I think, starting local with all these shops is definitely a good way, and just trying to keep things local, except for obviously the online presence, because I think when people actually see the product like in front of them, they really do like it. Like at shows, I've always sold a lot, every time there's a show, and online people, I mean, some goes online, but when they actually see the shirt and they can hold it and see it, I think people tend to like it a little better. And especially, if if I'm giving towards the cause, a lot of people just support stuff like that anyway, just because it's giving back to the community, I feel too. So,
Right, most definitely. Do you plan to use that brand going forward more like in an advocacy role? I know you said you're looking to give money back to charity, and that Carol's going to school to treat substance abuse. Where do you see that kind of going?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like like spokesperson and normal and those kind of movements and stuff like that, eventually I would, but like I said, right now with all the music stuff going on too, and my life's so much different already this year than it was last year. It's tough to see. I just kind of have to take it as it comes and just do baby steps. Really, I've never really been in like it takes time to build anything really, and so I mean even the stuff like a clothing company or a band. I figure the more networking and marketing and the shows and musicians and the more states that legalize and just connecting and just being online networking with them with some of these social media sites like even like LinkedIn. I mean there's more than just Facebook. Everybody's Facebook is still the biggest, but there's a lot of other ones that are more business oriented like LinkedIn and stuff like that, and help and and even eventually getting it worldwide. I mean.
Right. And where can people, if they're not at a show, where can they get Zbowlat clothing or items?
Right now, I have a few things on Amazon, and I mean, basically, if anyone wants to go to the Facebook page, most of the stuff I share from that are links to where you can order stuff. There was a website that I was selling on called championsondisplay.com, but that is going to be no longer in existence. So basically, I'm going to have to find a new website, and that's going to happen real soon. And then, but also, again, I want to get more partnered with like other website places that to host my stuff instead of just its own little website too. You know what I mean? Because then it broadens your horizons a little more. So, but yeah, Amazon's got some things, and there's a shop even on the Facebook page. There should be a shop. Click link button.
Right. Well, it's definitely good to network and to get your brand out there. Let's talk about music again for a moment. So you just had the first anti-mortem show. What can you share about that and any upcoming or future plans with anti-mortem?
Well, yeah, I mean that was a pretty epic show. I feel, it was a smaller show, but it was sold out. The energy was good. Everybody was super pumped about it, including, obviously the band and the fans. I know they were, and so basically, yeah, we're gonna just work on, if we're gonna go out and play more shows, which there will be more shows. Obviously, we all have projects to base around, and summertime gets pretty crazy, but I'm sure I would start looking for some more towards like maybe the fall into the summer. But yeah, we gotta, push a product. So we'll probably write, 2 or 3 songs, maybe do a video for one of them and, just kind of see what goes from there. It's kind of like with what Carol and I are doing. We don't really have plans for like a whole full length album right now, but we have, a lot of songs in the works. And I think what we're going to do is just kind of put a song out, do a video, and sit on that for a minute. Put a song out, do a video. I mean, I love doing videos anyway. I think it's one of the most fun things to do. I mean, shows are fun, but they can be, kind of chaotic sometimes. But so I would like to do a video for every song we do. People like videos in this day and age. YouTube. I mean, people don't. That's just how they get their music. I feel, I do. I know I'm guilty of it too. I go on YouTube and I've never searched for something and not been able to find it.
Right. That's definitely a good point today with so much around technology. It's just a click of a button and everybody's going to YouTube or Facebook and, watching.
And I'd rather watch a video too to go along with it. Sometimes a video can make the song. Like, I feel like there's a lot of songs I probably wouldn't even like as much if the video wasn't so cool,
That's true. And you can get into so many cool different concepts with videos. Do you have any upcoming videos that you're working on that you can share with us or any details?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a Super Pimp video right now. It's for an older song, but it's just an idea I had, like an artistic, thought that I had. And I was like, I had to pick. There's only one song that I could, use from our catalog that would work with this video. So that's in the works. And I mean, I don't know. It's, I'm kind of just taking my time with it because I'm actually doing it on my iPhone. And I specifically wanted to purposely do it on my iPhone just to see what I could do, on a cell phone to make a video. instead of, renting a bunch of nice camera equipment and stuff like that. I mean, we'll have videos like that too, and green screen type stuff. I'm sure we'll get into, but I just kind of wanted to see what I could do on my phone. Sit there, when I'm laying in bed, edit it and put it out.
There is so much that you can do on a cell phone today. It's really interesting how much we've gotten into just for the radio show that I actually end up editing and just doing right on my phone.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting going back from years ago when everything was so involved and so challenging, and now we just kind of have it at our fingertips.
Yeah, and there's positives and negatives about that, I think, but it's fun. Like, when the first video, the Let Live video from Carol, I did that myself as the first attempt I'd ever done, and I pretty much stayed up for 3 days until I finished it, because I didn't want to take a break, because I figured, man, if I go to sleep, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. It's like, what was I gonna put here, and how was I gonna do this? I just figured I would just stay up until it was finished. Sure enough, 3 days later, Carol, I got your video. Then I slept for a couple of days. So
I don't know how you do it. I wouldn't even know what I would be doing after the second day.
Yeah, and it is good to step away sometime and take a break, especially when you're learning songs, and it's instead of before you get a little bit frustrated. I mean, us musicians, we have to listen to songs over and over and over and over 100 times sometimes, and by the time, to the point where you get to hate it, and especially when you're editing a video, there's there's a 5-second part of the song that you're hearing over and over and over and over and over again until you get this clip right, and it's yeah, it's kind of just a mental head fuck. Excuse my language. I don't know if you can beep that out, right?
You can pretty much say what you want to on here, actually.
So where's this based out of?
We are based out of Newton, Kansas, but we are on Live 365. So we are broadcast anywhere that you can get the Live 365 app. So it's pretty much global.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the station that we're a part of is 106.6 The Blast, and Alan and I's program is the River Bottom Radio Show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we'll get your information out there all across wherever, and people can find you on Facebook, check out Zbowlat, and look for any upcoming shows that you have coming up, which, by the way,
yeah, and if anything, spread the word, just the word, the Zbowlat word, even if people don't ever buy anything or whatever, or support the cause, just having people saying that word, in 10 years, it's kind of what is it, the Urban Dictionary or whatever, they have out there, the slang terminologies, it's if it could end up as something like that, that's success to me,
Definitely. Well, and it's definitely cool merchandise, cool shirts, hats. I'm sure, I know a lot of people that already have picked it up already, and I'm sure more people will check it out and pick it up as well. Now, do you have any upcoming show dates that you want to talk about?
Well, I'm working, no, I mean, not anything in the calendar right now. My wife and I do, a regular gig here in the city downtown, on Tuesdays. And it's a lot of blues and covers and stuff. And it's pretty cool. When the Thunder games happen, we're pretty much right across from the basketball arena. And so get a lot of walk-in crowd, downtown that come in, and, they like to hear music and on a Tuesday, it's great because, playing on Tuesdays seems like it's usually a hit or miss thing, but around here, it's a perfect location, and then we do pretty well up there. So that happens. I know there's a Kiss concert, coming through town, and we're gonna play that after party there, and then working on some out of town stuff like Tulsa, and trying to get up towards Kansas City, and this summer probably even up towards Illinois. Just kind of I'm just kind of throwing time periods out that I want to be up here this time of the year. I want to be here this time of the year, and just gonna have to go from there, see what's available,
And what's the easiest way for people to find out about the different bands that you're a part of, the show dates and things that are coming up?
Honestly, right now, just my Facebook page, which is Timmy Braun. If you type that in, it should be the first name that pops up, and it'll have my little Lego man picture. But yeah, I mean, I try to, stay on top of keeping everything posted and sharing, and especially, a week or two before the show, I get pretty busy posting stuff because, a lot of people don't like to make plans too in advance, but when you're booking, you have to book 2-3 months in advance sometimes, and so it's, it does get pretty hard to plan stuff, just for my own personal life too. It's like you're on the road and you're not even at home and trying to get things done. So,
right, it's definitely a balancing act. So is there anything else that I haven't asked you tonight that you want to talk about, or anything else that you want to share with our listeners?
No, I mean, I think, I think we about covered everything as far as my this year plans, and I'll probably go and make a little video post about what's going on too, for the people that don't get to listen to this, or, and just to kind of keep people updated. Plus I have to study too, so yeah, it's and I've been on this schedule lately. It's like I don't even really see the sun anymore. Like I'm up all night and then I sleep all day, and I'm up all night doing stuff online, and my schedule is so turned around right now. Like, I can't even get to the post office in time before they close, it seems like.
What are you going to school for, by the way?
Marketing and business and stuff like that.
Well,
I want to learn as much as I can about. I want to be able to grow this Zbowlat company and my bands. I'm managing Carol and I's band right now, so I'm clueless. I mean, not really, but I mean, I'm learning, and what just things to be prepared for, and I'm used to having people do a lot of stuff for me on that aspect, as far as bookings and stuff like that. So it'll be good. I think it'll be good for me, and learning is always fun. We're always learning. I'm still learning drum stuff. I've been playing drums for 25 years. I still learn stuff every day. So it's always a learning experience. Life in general,
It definitely is. Well, it definitely sounds like you've got a full plate. We'll definitely have to stay on top of your Facebook and share out the different events and things that you have going on as they come out.
Sure, that'd be great. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, definitely thank you for taking the time to speak with me this evening.
No problem.
And with that, have a wonderful evening, and we'll be happy to get the Zbowlat stuff out there so people can find it.
Awesome. You guys have a rocking good time tonight, all right?
Thank you. You too.